Hi everyone, good afternoon. I nearly said good morning then. Afternoon, it's afternoon. Let me just, I think you need cleaning, hold on. My camera was a little bit off there we go. Right, let me just pop you there and I can speak to you. How are you? What have you been up to? Let me refresh my news feed so I can see you. Hopefully it'll come up. What have you guys been doing? What have you, what exciting things have you been doing over the last couple of days? What have I been doing? I've been kind of flitting from one thing to another today. We've got our winter lanterns. If anybody follows Winter Lantern Parade or Create on Facebook, you'll see that they've got some amazing project coming up for February, where instead of making the lanterns and doing the winter lantern parade like we would normally do each year, they're going to do kind of like window displays or light displays out in your garden, some kind of light display, but it's themed on heroes and villains, which I'm loving the sound of that. And particularly I can't wait to the villains week. So they've got throughout February different themes for each week, so you can change your light display. But I'm really excited about that actually. I will definitely post pictures of my light display when it comes up, because that's going to be really exciting. So do follow them. In fact, I could put a link, couldn't I? I'll put a link to them in the comments so that if you wanted to, you could have a look at their stuff. So say hello if you're watching. It'd be really nice to speak to you guys rather than just myself. What else do I have to tell you? Have you all got charcoal? Hopefully you've all got some charcoal or a really soft pencil. So either or. But you'll see in a minute, because we're going to do some raven that's very much light and dark. So there's not really much grey area in between. It's very high contrast. So that's what we're going to do today. So hopefully you've got some kind of charcoal or something like that, which would be great. Right, oh, hello, Sapphire and Jasper, hello, nice to see you, excellent, I'm glad you guys are joining. And Matilda and Erody, excellent, you love villains too, superb. Oh, definitely, I will put a picture of the winter lanterns on the comments so that you guys can join in with that in February, because that's going to be really good fun, good, nice and creative. Excellent, nice to see you all. Okay, so today we are gonna do this. Well, I think it's a raven. Ed did tell me that it might be a crow. Who knows, but I will draw it and you'll see. So I'm gonna start out with actually quite a medium piece of charcoal. I've got willow charcoal that's quite nice and soft. Jasper also likes villains. Excellent. What are your favourite villains? Or who is your favourite villain? That's what I should ask, isn't it? Who is your favourite villain? Definitely comment. I think mine might be a toss-up between quite like Ursula, with all those tentacles, from Little Mermaid, and who's my other favourite villain? My other favourite villain is probably Emperor Ming, but that's in a film that's probably way too old for you guys. So tell me who your favourite villain is. While I lower you guys down, you can start seeing the outline that I'm going to draw. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to do just a very rough outline. And it's very sketchy. This is what I like about charcoal. It can be very sketchy. So the body of a lot of birds, but in particular when you're drawing kind of crows and ravens, they're quite kind of hunchbacked. So the body is going to be... it's quite round and quite hunched at the top. I might actually bring that out just a little bit more there. And then the feathers, the tail feathers, are going to come out to kind of here. So I'm just very roughly, as you can see, I'm just very roughly drawing that outline. And then the head, what have we put? Harley Quinn and Darth Vader. Oh, Darth Vader's a good one as well, actually. Love it. Oh, Harley Quinn, I forgot about her. She's a good... Is she a villain or is she more of an anti-hero? She might be more of an anti-hero, actually. The Joker and Kylo Ren. Loving it. It's fantastic. Right, so I'm just outlining the... I need more of a point on that end. So I'm just going to try and get a flat bit of the charcoal. There we go. And then point him back in. There we go. So can you see it's very, very, very rough outline. I might actually make this bit come out a bit more of our bird. And what we're going to do is basically leave a lot of light, but you guys don't have to draw this, but I'm going to draw this arrow so you know that is the direction of my light source. So that's the direction that my light is going to be. So all of the lightest bits are going to be on this side of the crow. So whenever you're sketching anything or shading anything like that, think about where the direction of light is coming from. And if you're drawing something from the imagination or what have you, then you could just make it up and draw an arrow like I have, so you remember where the light's coming from. So for this, for example, we're drawing this from kind of memory. So the first thing that I'm going to do is do a little leg coming out here. So I'm going to do quite harsh lines. Like I say, this is quite light and dark. Like this is high contrast. There's not much grey area in between. And then to give the kind of showing that the claws are there, but without actually colouring them in as such. And then I'm going to put a bit of a branch there, mainly the underneath of it. So can you see where I've left gaps in between there? That's because the light source is catching the top of that branch, whereas we've got a nice heavy line underneath, nice thick line, and the hint of a crow's claw there. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Then we're going to go on to the feathers down here. So big strokes this direction. This is quite big and bold. We're going to outline these a little bit more. I'll put a smaller one up there coming in. So can you see those? In fact, I might sneak that in there so it goes underneath that one. Okay, we're going to do really nice dark lines, but not all the way to the edge. Can you see I've left a little bit at the edge? Okay, and if you want to, you can smudge them slightly. I quite like leaving the lines, but if you smudge them slightly, what you can do is add in some lines in a different direction, the heavier lines, to show. Let me hold that up. I'm going to try not to get my charcoaly fingers all over it. So hopefully you can see there where I've then smudged in the darker bits. I can outline it a little bit more and put some lines in a different direction, which just really brings that out. And then we're going to go here. So the feathers, I'm just going to concentrate on the darker side. Talking of Darth Vader, we're going to go to the dark side of the raven. And I'm just going to block in just a little bit of colour, a little bit of this charcoal, just on the darker side. And again, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a smudge, and then we can get some darker lines over the top of it. So I'm going to ruffle this bit up a little bit just by using kind of semicircles, semicircular marks, so that it looks more feathery. And then we're going to take some nice strong lines down here. It looks like feathers coming in. Some nice lines going up there. And some smaller ones at the top there. So if I hold that up slightly, hopefully you can see that a little bit clearer. So we get some really nice dark lines going on. And then as we work over, we want less and less lines. So we're literally just going, ruffle this bit up a little bit as well. Just going to put the kind of bare minimum, a little bit more in the middle, less as you get towards the light source. And it doesn't matter, as you can see, mine's very, very sketchy looking. I'm just going to smudge the middle bit slightly. There you go. Just by making a few marks, you can see that you've got the makings of the bird in the light. And then the same with it with the head. So we're going to go really dark at the bottom of that, because we know that the body's going to create a little bit of a shadow. And then for its eye, literally going to just some feathers coming off the back of his head as well. There we go. Just darken it in all towards the eye, I think. And you can smudge it a little bit and go over it again if you want to, just to get some marks in there. Almost want lines coming from the eye, really. There we go. And then this bit of the beak here, we want a little bit of shade on. It has to be huge. Definitely need the line of the beak coming out. And a little bit just here where it joins the neck. There you go. Blow that away. So just by looking at the direction of the lines and the mark making, I'm going to scrub my arrow out later as well. There we go. So you can see the direction that the light is on the bird. What do you reckon? Crow or raven? I think his head might be a bit too big to be a crow. I think it's probably more a raven. So there you have it. And nice messy charcoaly fingers as well by the end of it, which is always good fun. Tomorrow you will need a piece of paper and a really soft pencil if you've got one. So like, or if you've got charcoal, you can use charcoal. But we're going to use a softer pencil. So like a 4B, 6B or an 8B. Hopefully if you've got one of those. If you haven't, don't worry. You can still draw along with us. You can still do it with a HB pencil. But it just won't smudge as well. That's the only thing that will make a difference. Thank you very much for joining me. Do take a picture of your finished ravens and pop them in the comments below. I will comment with the Winter Lantern heroes and villains so that you guys can join in with that next month. And I will put a little link to our donation page as well. So if anyone feels they're able to, please do donate to Arty Farty Retreat. It just keeps us going for when we can hopefully get together again, actually live and in the flesh, which will be nice. Thank you very, very much. I will see you all tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Take care, guys. Bye.